something. I don't know.
Isn't that shit just like so like every person and their dog has a video about that on YouTube now, or like a Medium blog post about walking around the block, remembering to shower, get dressed, don't just work in your pajamas, have a separate space in your apartment that is your workspace, so that when you enter that workspace, you go into work mode. Set boundaries, take lunch, close all your tabs.
Hi, welcome to the Nick and Jason Show. Today we're going to talk about working remotely. Nikta, what do you think about working remotely?
It is my worst nightmare. So context for all of our subscribers. First of all, welcome, subscribe to the channel. Thank you.
Subscribe, please. Yes.
Love you. For anyone who's watching this video in like 2030, just so you know, right now in this time, it's coronavirus, global pandemic. Everyone's working from home that's able to. We have like something like, it's like straight out of a dystopian future. We have essential workers who are still going in to their jobs, but those of us who can, we're staying home, working from home, thanks to the wonders of the internet. And this has been a huge struggle for someone like me. I am on the spectrum of like introvert to extrovert. I'm off the charts. I should not be left.
Off the charts, sorry, off the charts.
Extrovert.
Oh, okay. It wasn't clear. Thanks.
Yeah, you're right, Jason. Thank you. Funny that you're pretending as though you didn't know that. So I am the world's biggest extrovert. I don't want to be alone for an hour. I really don't. Like, I want to always be with somebody. And yeah, for sure, I need like some quiet time and stuff. I also need, just like anyone else, I need to like lay down on the couch and just like mindlessly scroll through Instagram. But I want someone to be in the room with me when I do that. That's how extroverted I am. So going from like working in an office, and we had like an open concept office where Jason and I used to work. And so like seeing, you know, anywhere from 10 to 30 faces in the course of your day, and not just in the actual office itself, but on your commute into the office, like you're out, you're seeing people and stuff. That is a huge part of how I fill my battery, right? That's how I re-energize, and I need it. And by the way, this whole thing, we should probably do a whole separate episode on introverts and extroverts, but I will briefly say that this whole coronavirus pandemic has made me really appreciate the sacrifice that introverts make every single day. Because if it's this uncomfortable and painful for me to be forced to be alone, how frustrating and uncomfortable and unpleasant has it been for all the introverts of the world who have been forced to go into an office every day? Like, thank you all introverts for putting up with that. I will say that hopefully as an introvert, maybe you like get your battery drained throughout the day at the office, and then you go home and then your kids like further drain your battery, or your spouse further drains your battery. But then hopefully at the end of the day, you can just like be alone for 1 hour before bed or something. And hopefully that helps you recharge a little bit. Right now, I literally have nothing that allows me to recharge. It's not like I work from home and then go to a kegger every night or whatever. Not that that's my scene, but it's not like I'm able to go recharge at the end of the day. Okay. So working from home has been difficult, and I think that everyone should always have the option of working from home if their job and role allows for it, and being able to take, you know, days to work from home. But man, do I miss the office. How about you?
I don't miss the office. I could do this for the rest of my life, working from my house. And it might just be the nature of our work, the difference, or the difference in our personalities, because I am, despite appearances, an introvert. And, you know, having I've worked remotely, like exclusively remotely. Like I can't go to the office because it's on the other coast. And actually, for the last 5 years, I've essentially been a remote employee. And I found that it's just better to write code and stuff. It's better to just work from home because you're not wasting time commuting. So you get a whole extra, however long your commute is. Mine was an hour, so an hour both ways. So I'd get 2 hours free, 2 extra hours. What can you do with 2 extra hours? If you're single and not motivated, you're going to fritter away on video games. But once you're a parent, you realize it's so precious. All the time you have is so precious. And then you can do something to expand your brain, or I don't know, play video games probably. But still, 2 hours you save by not working. It's awesome.
Okay.
Or you can think deeply about your problem or whatever and solve it.
Oh my God, all of these examples that you just gave are like things that you can do alone for 2 hours. Play video games, or expand your mind, meaning like
right.
whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or meditate.
Yeah. That's the way to do it. That's how you become like a fantastic employee. Is you
so let me ask you this:
spend time alone thinking.
How many friends do you have?
Not many. And I like it that way. So don't even. We're talking about remote work here, not about extrovert and introvert. Stay on topic.
You're getting pretty defensive. Listen, my point is that when stop mumbling and listen, when like it's so easy to make friends when you're in school. And I don't know about you, but in my adult life, like I made friends when I was in elementary school, in high school. I have like my elementary school friends, my high school friends, I have my university friends, and then I have my friends from the office. And like I understand that this does not apply to so many people, and that, you know, I'm lucky that I've been able to meet people that I connect with so much that I can call them like friends, and truly I will consider them friends, like for sure outside of the context of the office. And I've left jobs and I still keep very closely in touch with lots of people, right?
Yeah, same with me. You're not, extroverts aren't that different. Like we're both all human beings.
Well, but all I'm getting at is that, like, I don't think that I would be as easily able to build that kind of friendship with someone if the only reason I ever really have to talk to you is because I need to, like, ask you a question on Slack.
Oh, I see.
So much of that, like, you know, familiarity and becoming more comfortable slowly over time to open up a little bit, become a little bit more vulnerable, share something that happened to you over the weekend, whatever, blah, 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 happens with just being in proximity of one another every day.
I agree. And yes, that's a good point. And I have gone through, you know, a couple Topper Harley landings remotely. And the only way I've been able to do it is that I've been, you know, in the same room with the team over the course of it a couple of times. And so then, you know, I can, you know, be a little more, you know, a little more Jason with them over Slack, because they understand me, because they've seen me face to face. They get how I deliver jokes or whatever. So yes, there's definitely some merit to having met your teammates and you know, being around them, so you're familiar with them, you can recognize them on the street, type of thing. Definitely, absolutely. But there's a lot of work. There's a lot of wasted time in an office, you know, and if you added up the actual time that you did something, you know, that can be measured, which is, I don't know, I don't want to limit work to just that, but there's a bunch of stuff we produce, and you produce more of it when you can shut the world out and work on it. You can't do that in an open concept office.
That does not.
Even with headphones and like, hey, I've got my headphones on. My office door is closed. I just made quote marks in the air. What's wrong with me? But that's a good, like, you know, cultural thing is if you have headphones on, leave the person alone. But that doesn't, you know, you're going to get interrupted. And I think your chances of getting interrupted are higher in an office than at home. And there's a lot of stuff where you need, a good period of time where you're actually doing real typing out specs or making PowerPoints or whatever.
Okay,
Writing
so I
code.
like that you tried to use management examples right there instead of
Yeah,
saying picking out code, because
your work
I
product.
was just going to interrupt you and say that what you were saying about like reducing output doesn't apply in my experience as a PM. Now let me explain. Like, do I waste time when I'm at the office and I'm just like chit-chatting with people? 100% yes. But listen, oh shit, 10 minutes in. Okay, listen. What was I gonna say? I think that because such a huge part of my job is stakeholder management, it's gonna make me sound like so Machiavellian and like I'm manipulating people into like being managed as a stakeholder or something. But what I'm trying to say is when you have real true human relationships with people, it makes stakeholder management easier, because I don't have to like sit around a table all with like, a tight tie and be like, oh, because of these reasons, the timeline has been pushed out by 3 weeks. I can be like, oh my God, Jason, the whole thing's a mess. The timeline's pushed out by 3 weeks. So you get it, right? And so I can manage you as a stakeholder more easily because we have a real relationship. And it just like everything goes faster that way because we know each other.
Right.
So yes, am I slower at putting together specs or slower at putting together like presentations when I'm at the office? 100%. But do I end up building relationships that in the long run, either help me propel my career forward or save me time when it comes to stakeholder management? I think I do.
Okay, let me call shenanigans on that whole thing because I can build relationships, even though most of my team in the place where we work together, all of my team was somewhere else. Most of the people you talked to, the stakeholders you managed, were somewhere else. So you were doing it through video chats. You might have it might not have been your bedroom, but you're doing the same shit over video most of the time, even if you're in an office. So,
yeah, but we also,
let me call shenanigans on that. The second thing, I'm pretty sure, now I can't say with 100% certainty, but let's say 98% certainty that you have said, oh, you know what, I'm going to work from home today and just get some work done. So, I don't know. I think that's a bunch of crap. Maybe you're just justifying it because you're extroverted and you just need the attention and you want, just like, oh, give me your eyeball. Let me see everyone.
Yeah, 100% it's actually that. You're right. Fine.
So,
and yes, when I would go into the office Monday to Friday all the time, absolutely, like once a month or something, I'd need to just stay home and just crank out a bunch of stuff without being interrupted because I would just procrastinate doing my specs and my decks and whatever.
Yeah, you're just around and
but holy cow,
water.
But Jason, in the long run, like the amount of like demotivation and demoralization and stuff that I feel by not being in the same room as my team and like working together towards a common objective and stuff, like it's just like over time, I think output is going to just kind of keep going down, unless I figure out a way to re-energize myself,
Yeah. Maybe, there is a certain value
what
to being able to be alone.
Yeah, I have yet to.
You might want to work on that, like being just by yourself, alone, for like an hour. Just try it. Not without your phone, even.
Thank you for this lovely therapy session, Jason. I like how we were like, oh yeah, let's do a show on being on working remote and like
went all over the place.
Yeah, it's like about extroverts, introverts.
All over the place. There's more to this topic.
Okay, guys, tell us what you think in the comments below. Are you a fan of working from home? Do you miss the office during this global pandemic? We want to know.
Click subscribe.
Bye.